If you want to show us some love, donate at rubydaytv.com, the home of all my exclusives, and don't forget to leave the show a rating or a review. Thanks to Tantaley for sponsoring today's episode. Tantaley has everything you need for your next self-care moment, with a wide range of high-quality companion dolls to fit any taste. So make sure to check out Tantaley and use code RUBYDAY to get 12% off your purchase. Realism redefined. You deserve the best experience. So lifelike, you'll be amazed at how real they feel. Fun-loving, hey, I really like you. What's your flavor? How do you go about relationships?
What's your flavor? I love that. What's your flavor?
It's totally a flavor. Because some days you're in the mood for one thing and some days you're in the mood for another. But, when you find that perfect one, that one that you just want to wake up next to every single day or that you can't get out of your head, it's hard to let it go.
Well, yeah, it is. And that's the thing. I met him and it's like, I wanted to spend every day with him. I wanted to wake up with him. I wanted to spend life with him, And so past that, though, it was like he opened my mind to this whole concept of polyamory or ethical non-monogamy.
So did you have experience before
No.
this relationship in anything that was outside of the traditional monogamous
No, I did not.
one-on-one relationship?
Yeah, initially I thought red flag, he just wants to screw everybody. I'm like, you guys. But it was not like that. It was really more of like, he really wanted to, it's about experiences, and every person, it was about self-growth and stuff like that. And he was like committed to me, but he was like, hey, I want you to know and give you time. And he gave me time with the relationship, and we could, grow the relationship together and get that intimate bond. But after that, it was like, hey, let's do this together. So, we tried swinging for a little while. We did some of those things like that. But it was like swinging really wasn't our thing. But I did find out, hey, I do like women. Yes, I do. I like women and men. So it's like, I was like, I realized my sexuality was on a spectrum. And so when we started doing all those things, we just started looking for, I really like something more committed. I'd like something that's more meaningful, like a meaningful connection, more than just like a hookup, which is what the swinging was being. It was like, hey, just a hookup. And I just didn't want to be a booty call. And I really didn't want my man being a booty call either, if you know what I mean. So it was like, hey, let's look for something.
I don't know. Sometimes I like the booty calls. Sometimes I like being the booty call.
I know you do. I know you do.
I mean, it depends on what kind of mood I'm in.
Yeah, right. I know you, girl. Well, it's just like, that was kind of our introductory experience with the whole thing. And what I found out was like, there's these poly folks. And I started reading about it, and he introduced me to it and said, hey, read some books and stuff. And he was really wonderful and great, and just kind of eased me into the understanding of it. Didn't push. And it was up to me if that was something for me. And what I found out was, I think that's my jam. I like it. It gave diversity, and it was like, in some ways, yes, it kind of spiced up the marriage a little bit, but it also gave freedom back to the individual freedom of the person to still like different things still, and it's okay. And it's like I always like to tell people, I like chocolate and vanilla. It's like I go to Baskin Robbins and I want 31 flavors. That's just like life. Food's that way. People can be that way. I'm not saying I'm slutting around or anything, but I'm just saying it's like you get to have more relationships. And so we started developing these relationships with people, and we started dating, and we kind of brought them in, kind of like that, table, what they call a kitchen table polyamory, where everybody everybody knows each other, everybody's cool with each other. That everybody doesn't have to sleep with each other. Sometimes they do, but they don't.
No,
it's just that they like each other.
How is that? I mean, I thought that was, in some regards, just being ethically non-monogamous. Making sure all your partners know that, hey,
it is. Right.
I have other partners. I'm seeing other people, even if you're being serious, that everybody knows about everyone. But listening to you talk about how you met your partner, I'm hearing a resemblance. Because I kind of started my whole life dating experience just being this very open and practicing ethical non-monogamy from the get-go. Like, I tried a monogamous relationship once, And to be honest with you, I mean, it was fun, but I started getting bored.
Yeah.
And it had nothing to do with the other person I was with. I was just losing interest. It wasn't satisfying me enough. It wasn't taking care of me enough, kind of thing. And even though I wanted to keep that relationship and really liked that other person, it was like something was missing. And I actually, the one and only time, and this was years ago. I mean, I
Yeah.
was a
Yeah.
teenager, so I know everybody has probably experienced a similar thing. So I was dating this guy and had been dating him for several months, and we were having sex. And then it was like all of a sudden one day, I just could not take it anymore. And I needed another partner. I needed another sexual partner. And this guy, he was totally not into non monogamy. And I kind of knew that. And instead of confronting him, I found myself, I cheated. There was this
Ah.
other guy, and we had known each other for a little bit and always kind of flirted around with each
Yeah.
other. And it was just kind of, he hit at the right moment kind of thing. And I felt so horrible afterwards because I knew the guy I was dating, I didn't think it was necessarily going to be kosher for him.
What, to cheat on him?
Yeah, well,
Oh,
no,
goodness,
for me
girl.
to have another sex
Oh,
partner.
okay.
It was just the mere fact that we hadn't had that
Mm-hmm.
conversation, even though he had kind of told me he was kind of a monogamous type person, and I was so young. I didn't know myself well enough. It was like
Yeah.
the first serious kind of semi-adult relationship. You know, you're a teenager.
Yeah.
So it's the first semi-serious relationship I'd had. And I didn't know I was this way. It's like
You don't know till you know.
it just came out.
Yeah.
And it surprised me as much as it surprised him, although he wasn't so happy about it. But I felt so bad that I had to go talk to him and tell him because it was that one instance. And it's not like the guy I fooled around with, it didn't go very far.
Yeah.
We're talking like maybe, heavy petting, kissing. That was
You're
about
just playing
it.
around with some NRE.
Yeah,
That new
well,
relationship experience, just wanting to have
see,
one.
the new
right?
relationship experience,
Yeah.
that's another podcast we're going to have to talk about.
Yes.
Maybe the next one. That one instance, I was like immediately in the middle of fooling
Yeah.
around with this other guy. Like it just hit me like a wave.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my God, I am not sexually monogamous, but I can't do it this way.
Yeah.
This isn't the right way.
Right, I get this. I get it. There's things you can do that you can't do. But let me bring up a point.
Well,
because
it's not about the things you can do that you can't
Well,
do with the other people. It's
no,
not that
sometimes
at all.
it's about adding an additional one.
No, it was just like everything in my core
Yeah.
said, I'm not sexually monogamous.
Yeah.
And any relationship structure that required me to be that way, I was going to fail at.
Yeah.
And I knew it.
Well, it's
I
like
was just going to bomb, and other
Yeah.
people were going to get hurt, and I was
Right.
going to become someone, a label of someone that I didn't want to be.
Well, that's what you mentioned about getting hurt, because getting hurt's that's what you try to eliminate with poly. Poly is obviously loving more than one person. Now, you mentioned ethical non-monogamy. That's what you do in the dating phase of poly. You do all that type of ethical non-monogamy, and you look for partners that
Yeah.
you actually have
You
feelings for. Yeah.
You can have that open
Yes.
dialogue.
Yes,
with.
and communicate.
Have you noticed that so many people are just, they don't want to talk about sex? You
Oh,
start dating. Have you
yeah.
ever tried to bring up
Talk
the
about sex.
sex
Yeah,
conversation
right.
with them?
Mhm.
I mean, how awkward
Yeah.
and uncomfortable that whole situation
Oh, God.
is.
Yeah. There's
Have
so
you
many. Oh yeah, I have
experienced
experienced
that?
that. Yes, the first when you meet somebody, you want to talk about those things. But yeah, it can be a little bit nerve wracking. But honestly, I look for people that are confident or they feel like they at least whatever amount of experience they had, they just like own it. And I like that. Confidence is sexy. I can't express that enough. How much confidence is so sexy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
You can
yeah,
be confident, never say a word to me, and
yeah.
show it in your body
Oh
language
yeah.
from across the room.
Mm.
And my little radar starts going off, and I'm like, ooh.
Yes.
Then I have to assess if they're the
Yes.
cocky confident or if it's
Right,
genuine
right. Yeah, you don't
confidence.
want the arrogant, cocky
That
kind.
is
That's a
for
turn off,
me,
girl.
that is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
worst, to have somebody that is cocky about their confidence.
Mm-hmm. Oh, oh
I
yeah.
don't find that they tend to last very long with me.
Yes.
And I've had guys that I've dated before
Yeah.
tell me it's because I come across as so genuinely confident
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
anytime another man comes and hits on me in front of the person I'm dating,
Yeah.
that it challenges them. It
Oh, the man you're
challenges,
with? The
yeah,
man you're with? Oh.
ends up challenging them.
Yeah.
So if they just have that cocky confidence,
Yeah.
from my experience, I have found that those men with cocky
Yeah.
confidence, they end up trying to control me and lock me down even
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I do not
None of us ladies like
I
that.
repel.
No. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if that's true. I have other girlfriends.
Well, maybe. Are they submissive?
That, well, no,
Maybe.
that like they want that. That's what
Yeah.
they're looking for. And that's totally fine if you're that type of
Yeah.
person.
Well, I get
It's
that.
about finding the right
Yeah.
matches.
I thought I
Yeah.
wanted that. I thought I wanted it that other way, but I just was naive. I just didn't understand, I didn't have any experience. And, I found such a loving partner that was like, hey, let's just ease into it and try it. And if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. But he's like, this is something that I think you might like. This is something I like. And let's see if it's something that him and I can share and just kind of, and it did, it really enhanced the relationship. It really brought us together even closer. We ended up dating, we've dated women, we've dated men, we've dated other couples, it's like I said, where we actually started having an intimate relationship, but also everything else in life. Well, like we shared duties and tasks and doing errands and just living life together and really enjoying each other's time and in essence falling in love with each other.
Those
Yeah.
are the ones that I say I want to wake up next to every single day.
Well, we're gonna need a big bed.
Someone, am I invited now?
I don't know, maybe.
Because I think I just got invited to the bed.
We're gonna
I
need a
don't
big
know
bed.
how I feel about that. I mean,
Well, honey.
we're girlfriends. I don't want to cross any boundaries.
Yeah.
But seriously, that's what I call, that's my primary. That's who I'm looking
Yes,
for in a
yes.
primary. Somebody, and a primary means it's your one person that you want to wake up to
Yeah.
every single day,
Yeah.
that you may even want to get married and still be
Yes.
in a poly relationship
Yeah, like I am.
and an ethical non-monogamous
Yes, yeah.
relationship. It doesn't mean you have to be locked down.
Right.
If you want to show us some love, donate at rubydaytv.com, the home of all my exclusives. And don't forget to leave the show a rating or a review.